If you want to export your Tinkercad designs with color intact, this video is going to make that process super simple. A lot of people export from Tinkercad and then wonder why the model turns gray or loses its materials, and the reason is usually the file format. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you the best ways to export Tinkercad with color, when to use each option, and which one is best depending on where you want to use your model next. If this guide helps you, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe for more easy software tutorials, and let's get right into it. First, it's important to understand one thing right away. If you export as STL, your color will not carry over. That format is mainly for 3D printing, and it only stores the shape of your model, not the color information. So if your goal is to keep the colors visible in another app, a viewer, or a presentation, you need to choose a different export option. The first and most common method is exporting as OBJ. To do that, open your Tinkercad design, go to the Export button, and look for the OBJ option. When you export this way, Tinkercad creates a zip file that includes two important files. The first is the .obj file, which contains the 3D geometry, and the second is the .mtl file, which contains the material and color information. These two files work together, so if you move them into another program like Blender or Unity, you need to keep both files in the same folder. If one file is missing, the colors may not appear correctly. So if you want a reliable way to preserve color for 3D software, OBJ is a strong option. Now let's talk about the easiest format for modern use, and that is GLB. If you want a single file that keeps both the model and the color data together, GLB is usually the best choice. Back in Tinkercad, click Export again and select GLB. This format is especially useful for web applications, AR, VR, and even Microsoft Office, depending on how you plan to use the model next. The biggest advantage here is that everything is packed into one file, so you do not need to manage a separate material file like you do with OBJ. That makes GLB a very convenient option if you want to share a colored 3D model quickly and have it display properly in supported viewers. If your goal is more advanced design work, engineering, or professional rendering, you can also send your design to Autodesk Fusion 360. In Tinkercad, look to the top right and click Send To, then select Autodesk Fusion 360. Once the project opens in Fusion, your original Tinkercad colors can stay assigned to the different bodies, which is very helpful if you want to continue editing, refining, or presenting the model in a more advanced environment. This is a great workflow if you started in Tinkercad but need more powerful tools later on. So let's quickly summarize the best option for each situation. If you want the classic export that preserves color and works with many 3D programs, use OBJ. If you want the simplest single file format with color included, use GLB. And if you want to move your design into a more professional Autodesk workflow, use Send to Fusion 360. That way you can choose the export method that fits your exact project. One more tip before you go. Always test your exported file in the program where you plan to use it. That way you can make sure the colors, materials, and layout look exactly the way you expect before you share it or build on it further. Small differences between programs can happen, so checking the final result is always a smart move. If this video helped you learn how to export Tinkercad with color, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more step-by-step tech tutorials, and leave a comment if you want more Tinkercad tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.